esteemed industries here, that you are the first union minister to enter into Sri City premises. And that being lady which we named after, this is Sri is meaning of Lakshmi, prosperity. Sri City is Lakshmi City. So any that is our fortune that the first honor has gone to you, madam. I think your department holds maximum number of brands here, though we have other brands like Alstom or many other brands. So you being first registration family, but we are very happy that you are putting what is required for India to be a self-sufficient country. You know, we produce more, as you said, we have a lot of firsts in production, but when it comes to exports, we are very, very poor, and we are still importing a lot of material in food related also. I think with your inspiration.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, a very good afternoon to all of you. I would like to start by thanking Mr. Reddy for giving me this opportunity and opening my eyes to the wonderful facility that he has created here. Indeed, I congratulate him. If I say that Sri City is a jewel in India, I will say he has given up everything in the country overseas where he was, and to come back to India and to create something like this, for me it's an eye-opener. And just to explain to the kind of extent that I have been impressed by what I have seen, just like he is connected to his roots, when I tried telling him you have to create something like this up north, he says I'm from this area and what I feel for here, I cannot feel for anywhere else. And I can as a minister say that coming from a farming background of Punjab, being a Punjabi, I thought I could not feel for anywhere else. But after seeing Sri City, I am confused. I think I will be selling Sri City more and Punjab less, because it's just so amazing what he has created. And if I give extra credit to the fact that he has not just tried to blindly ape the West, he has tried to keep in our culture, our local flavor, and work in harmony, not just with nature, but even the way he has incorporated the villagers and their sentiments and all. I think that is what is really creditable. So a real gem of an Indian, I would say, who has actually made a success story by combining all these things. I think the credit goes to his vision. While I learn a lot after having seen the facilities created here, I congratulate him, I congratulate all of you. And I can only say that after seeing something like this, I think India is proud to have a Sri City, India is proud to have a Mr. Reddy. And I'm so glad that there are so many countries which have come and collected over here. Because India is a country of diverse cultures, diverse religions, diversity living together. And if we see diverse industries and diverse nations living together, I think Sri City is the only example. So I think credit goes to him that he's managed to do that. The next point I would like to make is, of course, I would love to talk about food processing, because he has mentioned that, like I said earlier, we're a country with the second largest population and growing really fast. Every year, the number of people increases, but the land holdings shrink. In another 15 years, we are going to be probably one of the largest consumers in the world. So how important it is for our country to grow more, from less to feed more. That's a huge challenge, because the reality is that the only study which was done about wastage of fruits and vegetables, which was in 2009 and 10, like he mentioned, we waste almost something like 44,000 crores worth of food in our country. What a country like people of UK, what they consume, that is the amount that our Indians, our fruits and vegetables get wasted. Those are the figures that we are talking about. And I think with the way we are growing, we can just not afford that, because if we are a hungry nation, it leads to diverse kinds of problems, which I think we have to avoid. That is probably the reason that the Prime Minister has now separated the food processing industry from the agricultural, which it was combined and not much focus was given. And I think just to give an idea, the Prime Minister separated this ministry separate. He's in his first budget created a corpus of 2,000 crores under NABARD, where especially processing industry can go pick up loans at cheaper rates. He's reduced the excise duty from 10 to 6%. This is all to give a thrust to this, because at the end of the day, I look at my ministry working as a catalyst. If the processing industry goes, it will pull the farmer along. And today this farming community is the most needy community, I would say, because they don't have the means to uplift themselves. But unless we uplift them, I don't think we can progress, because food is the most essential commodity, and we became a food sufficient nation after a green revolution came in and a lot of hard work was put in. So we have to uplift the farmer, and I look at it as processing progresses, food processing progresses, the farmer will get uplifted. I look at it that inflation will come down because wastage will come down. Two very important issues. As a consumer, you're worried about inflation. As a government and as farmers, we are worried about our farmers. And the third place where I look at, like I just finished saying earlier, that if I look at food processing as a hub for skill training, I would say that any industry. Today I'm trying to pick up what that idea, if you could all give me also, I'm trying to work with my government to come up with that incentive which makes every industry work like a hub for skill training, because like the honorable members before me mentioned, recruiting locals is an issue. And I would actually suggest that especially where SCZs like this are concerned, I could talk to the minister concerned, I could even talk to the Prime Minister, that especially for SCZs, we take in the requirements of the industries based over there and we put up a special thing starting right from the local government schools around, where courses can be started in school level only. So that from basic training going up to the professional, whatever your requirements are, to put up institutes nearby, that could be a special focus which could be given especially in and around the SCZ, so that we could meet this requirement of your skilled labor that you require, as well as the local issues could both be homogenized, just like he has managed to do many other things. So A, I would look for ideas from you and from Mr. Reddy on that, and B, I would also like to look for ideas, invite ideas from you as to what kind of incentives could be given from the government which would make it worthwhile for any industry to train as many Indians as they can in their units, which I look at it that in a way you'll get cheaper labor. Number two, the best that you train, I'm sure you will recruit. And whatever you turn back into the market will be a skilled workforce, because I look at the future of our country where we are 65% population under the age of 35, and to turn this youth into an asset, they have to be skilled, otherwise they're a liability. So why not use every industry to do that, because a skill training center will only take in an X number of people, and with these basic education qualification, we need to skill even the illiterate so that even he is capable of earning and standing on his own feet. So of course, besides earning the revenue, uplifting the farmer, bringing down wastage, there are a lot of things that I look at my ministry and I look at every industry that it can do. One of the things that we have discussed is that, in my processing industry, most of the machinery is imported. So I have a good idea which I have picked up with the little bit of interaction I had, that I could immediately create a council which would concentrate on R&D of those machines, which why should they be imported, why should we not, like our Prime Minister's vision of come make in India. So why can we not make in India? Because I think our best brains go abroad and work for those foreign companies, but why should they not work in India and do a lot for the Indians? So I would invite ideas from you in your respective companies also. This is a government which, I may be a food processing minister, but one of the highlights of our Prime Minister is that this is one government. If you have an issue or an idea of another government, I have no issues talking to my colleagues and putting your ideas across or facilitating something which is a roadblock from you. You have a dynamic Chief Minister. I had the pleasure of him coming over to visit me, I think a few days back, and I was totally floored by his vision and his dynamism. He's paying a lot of attention. I'm very happy to say, to agriculture and to the processing ministry, departments, as well as everything else in his state. He had so many ideas. I think there's a lot I can learn from him. And the best part is that any industry or any issue, one has no hesitations in talking to CMs like this, who are very focused on clearing the bottlenecks. And of course, if you've got a secretary over here who's also from, besides the MP and the MLA and a secretary, you've got everybody under one roof to facilitate not only the political issues, but even the bureaucratic issues that you may have. I think it's a win-win situation. So while I thank Mr. Reddy, and I can assure him that now when I have a pleasure of being able to interact with lots of people who visit India with the hope of investing in India, which is one of the reasons that we have put up an investors portal also on our website. And I think in that portal, Mr. Venkatesh, we need to make a special mention of Free City, because a jewel like this should not be hidden. And I'm sure when it comes to recommending the locations, the kind of advantages this area has and the kind of facilities it has, I think it is going to be, I'm going to be very biased towards this, which as a minister I have to be careful not to be, but it's going to be difficult not to be. So while I thank Mr. Reddy, I congratulate all of you, and I would be very open to any kind of suggestions that they may suggest. Please do pass them on to me. It has been an absolute pleasure, and I thank you all so much for having me here.